Hi, today I'm going to try to fix the rear bearings on my Kenmore front loader. Step one is I'm going to take off the top. So I am unscrewing these 4 screws in the back right here. Next step is to remove these 2 screws right there. Note, I decided to take the back panel off so I'd have more room to work. Screws are removed. Actually, the nuts are removed, but the screws will stay on the drum like that. Remove drive belt. Okay, I cut the little zip tie that was there, just pushing that out of the way. And you're going to unplug the motor. There you go. Out of the way. Okay, now you're supposed to remove the 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. They hold on the motor. Using an improvised socket wrench, screwdriver, and a little socket because my wrench is broken, I undid all of the screws, and we're going to pull out the motor. Now we're coming in through the front, and we're going to loosen the screw and take the drain off of the drum. Okay, now according to directions, I think this is the water level sensor right here. It's right here. So we're going to squeeze this ring and remove that also. But I need a pair of pliers to do that. Okay, that's what you're going to see when we do that. Okay, I'm looking in through the back now, and here is the water level sensor right there. This gadget here. Oh! You see the little black hose and the white, looks like a fuel filter? That's a water sensor. Instead of disconnecting it down there, I'm going to follow that black hose all the way up, right there, and disconnect it right there. Okay? Alright, it's removed, and I taped it to the drum. Okay, now we're going to get the shocks out of the way. Sometimes you discover something lovely, such as this. My shock is broken. So this just means I'm going to have to order that part before I finish this job. Okay, to get the shock out, I'm going to have to get this pin out right here. And for that, I'm going to have to squish it. It's got a couple barbs. Just going to have to squish it and push it through. So the way I took this pin out was, I went in through the front and put the pliers on it. Oops. Put the pliers on it from the front and just left it like that, and then went in through the back and just pulled it out with another pair of pliers. And this pliers just fell on the floor. Take this little hose off at the top. Leave it loose. Here's the back of the drum. It's very loose, so I stuck a couple pails underneath there to support it when I remove it from the springs. We're going in through the front now, and we're just going to remove the rubber from the drum. Start at the bottom and go all the way around it, and at the top there, and remove this rubber part. Now we're going to take the drum out, so we have to take the springs off. To release a spring, you're going to have to unscrew the clip that goes on top And here we are. On this side, take the screws out and the clip, and you have the springs sitting right here. So now we can lift it. Okay, with my sister's help, we slid that drum out, and here it is on the floor, lying on its front. Now what we're going to do now is remove the back half, which is the top, from the front by unscrewing all, Bobby, out of the way please, by unscrewing all of these screws here. Okay? Here's a trick for removing the spider. To keep this from spinning while you're trying to remove it, just jam something in here, like yay, and then you can remove it. And here's the rear part of the drum with the old bearings removed. Sears only sells it as one unit. So once you take this part off, just replace it with a new one. Here's a trick for getting the tub back into the back of the machine. Prop it up on something. Take a waste basket, metal waste basket, and then once you prop it up, you can just push it right through. Now we're going to replace the seal, take out the old one. You notice this little notch right here is the little red mark on the seal. You're going to find the red mark on the seal and put it in that notch. So I'm taking the old seal out. Dump. Putting the new one in. Right. Okay. Alright, have the top and bottom back together. Now we have to screw it together. You're going to alternate the screws. One on this side, one on the other side, one on this side, one on the other side, etc. To replace a front boot, I'm going to have to remove the outer part, and in this case it does not have a spring. It is glued on, so you just have to find, just start prying it off. I had to use a screwdriver to pry it off from, you just open it up this way and start prying it off, and then just start with an X-Acto knife, just untacking it wherever it's glued. It's glued at several points along the door. Here's the boot, completely cleaned. It took about 20 minutes to scrub it down. Okay, I've lubricated the entire groove here with dish soap. And now we're going to go around and just press it in by hand. Okay, the boot is entirely popped in to the outer rim. To get the spring back in, I just started manually sticking it in about here, and then this little gadget that comes in the back of the washer, there should be two but I only had one, kind of secures the spring while you're working around. So you just kind of jam this into behind the washer here. I had it anyway. So jam it in there and work the spring around, tucking it in. It's kind of difficult because there's some extra flaps down here, but just keep working at it and the spring will snap into place. Alright, now we're ready to reassemble this. I need this clip. Okay, and the final step is you're just gonna put this around it and cement it back into place.